Ladies and gentlemen, this is Three Hit Combo Podcast, aka the Endgame Podcast, because that's probably all we're going to talk about.
I'm down.
My name is Matt. I'm here with an absolutely packed house.
Yes. My name's Tam.
I'm Skylar.
They know who you are.
Yeah.
I'm Randy Orton.
What if this is... All right, buddy. I mean, you locked into it. What if this is their first episode? What if they're jumping in to the end game?
Oh, shut up.
Put it together. Podcast over.
There we go. It all comes full circle, and it already has. Thank you for joining us at Three Hit Combo Podcast. You can find us online.
You can find us on Pinterest.
Pinterest?
Oh, we're expanding.
Follow
Matt's,
us on the gram.
Matt's favorite potato salad recipes are our Pinterest board. This one had too much spice.
We've made a comic book out of all of our podcasts. You can find it out on Etsy.
What's great is I've started hiding the transcripts of all of the episodes in the middle of food blogs. So, like, you really need to find it. You really got to sift through. Because there's a story of waking up with, cinnamon rolls and shit like that. And then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Three Hit Combo Podcast. And then a couple more paragraphs down, then you start getting, like, the intro banter. Yeah. I think it's really going to shoot our numbers up.
My grandmother used to use these big goofs to wake me up in the morning.
So if, just full disclosure here, if anyone hears like a honking bird, the window is open in the podcast room.
And my girlfriend's here.
Because...
Tam's dating a bird.
Bark, bark.
Because it's so packed in here and it gets really hot.
It does, even for like 3 people, it ends up getting kind of steamy
it gets
at
hot.
the end.
And I can't turn on that fan because then you'd just be hearing the whole podcast.
Let's get one of those loud-ass box fans.
I'll bring one over.
Why are you even bothering with this intro? We have Endgame to talk about.
All right, start us
hold
off.
on. I guess, the warning is if you haven't seen it. The directors even said spoilers as of tomorrow. So
Yeah, the Russo brothers gave us a timeline.
yeah.
That's really rad. That's they know the power
They
they
gave
have.
it 2 weekends.
I mean, let's go ahead and maybe Matt drop in like a timestamp on where we wrap up our end. Too much
Do you
editing.
expect me to do that?
This is going to be most like 90% Endgame.
No,
so.
I'll do that.
Yeah,
I think I did that for Infinity War. So.
yeah.
So you want to do spoiler free first?
No, hell no. Let's drop into spoilers.
Oh, okay.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna review this thing twice.
Okay. Organization is key. I think the first thing we do is we all go around and talk about our feelings on yes, no, Endgame's cool, and then like we all just like riff off each other, just like, oh fuck, the end of this thing happens, and here's a question I have.
I've got like chronological notes, so
I mean, we can also just do that. That's also like
That-
do that and then just go off with that.
Does-
I think the way to ruin this podcast is just like to jump around the craziest we possibly can.
the second time I saw the movie was at a movie theater, not in my house,
Yeah.
and that allowed me to take notes at my leisure.
That's
They had the bloggers section in the movie
Yeah.
theater.
Yeah.
It was just like
All the lights on.
brightly
Yeah.
lit and
Yeah.
laptop screens everywhere,
headphones, of course.
illuminating the sallowy skin
that
of all the
version
bloggers.
isn't a bad version that you're speaking of.
It's pretty impressive for what it is. Especially if you've seen the movie the first time, you can fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
You can really translate the Korean.
Yeah.
So I've seen this movie twice in theaters. Randy.
I'll be 3 times next weekend.
Gross.
I just saw it once, one and done. I think I got everything I needed from it.
There's so much to unpack.
Yeah. Did you see Howard the Duck? Because he's definitely in it for a frame.
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
The first time.
First time.
Then someone pointed it out on Reddit, and I was like,
I think what I was going to say is as like standalone movies, I thought Infinity War was the better movie.
Oh, 100%. It's
But
a movie.
I think Endgame is the perfect ending, though.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think ultimately what Endgame boils down to is just the end of a series. Like, you don't watch the last episode
in the title.
of you don't watch the last episode of
Laguna
insert show here.
Breaking Bad.
Laguna
Yeah.
Beach.
And like, expect the usual antics of whatever that series was. it's more like, goodbyes, hellos, whatever, possible continuation, question mark.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Endgame was just like, it is definitely an end. It doesn't encapsulate like one facet of the whole thing. It's just really, it's not that great of a movie by itself.
Infinity War was a little bit more concise.
Yeah, definitely.
And Endgame was a little bit all over the map, but you kind of have to expect that when you're doing time travel.
Yeah, time travel could get so messy, but I thought they did a good job of explaining it.
I agree.
I like how they had that scene where they're like, all right, it's not goddamn Back to the Future. It's not this. All right, just put the shit back when you're done.
So like on the last point before we get into time travel, the way that I recommend watching Endgame is you
With
just
3D glasses on.
you block out a 6-hour time period and you watch Infinity War into Endgame. You don't watch Endgame by itself, but if you want to, you can stop and just watch Infinity War.
I actually watched through the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe the day before. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my God.
About a month leading up to Endgame. So I saw Infinity War probably about 2 or 3 days before Endgame.
Yeah,
So it was pretty close.
yeah.
It's a day before, yeah.
I just feel like you just don't watch that movie by itself. Not that it's over.
Yeah.
You're gonna go buy that movie and be like, well, I'm gonna carve out a whole day to watch you because I
it's
gotta
like-
watch another movie first.
It's like if you listen to Queen, you can't listen to We Will Rock You without listening to We Are the Champions.
Right, 100%.
Yeah, you have to do both
Yeah.
back to back.
Definitely. It's it's definitely I would say like 0.75 of a movie. It's not a whole movie by itself. It's good. It's got some really good spots in it and has a nice beginning, middle, and end, but it definitely is an entire act 3 of an entire series that you need act 1 and 2. And really act 1 and 2 both happened in Infinity War. It was good. It's good stuff.
Yeah. All right, so I got some chronological notes here, so
Yeah.
we can just kind of go through it without getting crazy. I don't even know what that note is. I should have wrote these out longer.
It's a love you note to you from me. I snuck it in there.
So Hawkeye's family,
Yeah. Oh man,
they did the snap without actually seeing the snap.
what a cold open, huh?
That was
Oh
The
shit.
moment it
Cold
opened with
open.
that, I was like, "Oh no!"
I don't know what it is, but for some reason, like dad tears hit me so fucking hard. They're like 3 times the viscosity of like a regular tear, and it's
the
just like,
viscosity.
yeah,
What are
just
you
like
crying syrup?
Yeah.
it's dense.
Give me a
thick
waffle.
tear, and it's just oh my god. I don't know.
He's like, instead of a tissue, he's dabbing his face with a waffle.
Seeing the lamentations of a father is just oh my god. It cuts me right down. Like
You don't have something to tell us, do you?
And him running back and forth afterwards like a lost dog. It's like,
Yeah.
where'd everybody
whistling
go?
for his kids.
Because he knows even less than like everyone else.
Oh well, yeah,
Everyone else saw like them disintegrate. He's just like
Yeah.
they just disappeared.
yeah,
It's like Goku's instant transmission in DBZ Bridge.
Yeah.
Where he just goes,
yeah. No, I get that. I'm sure he got to figure it out later. Whatever, half the world was gone, and everybody
yeah.
was like, "Oh, they dusted."
Yeah.
Cool news is only half the cops will go get him because of that ankle bracelet, huh? Right? Silver lining.
it's a good point.
Yeah. Cut that sentence in half.
Is
that how that works?
I don't think that's how that works. So after that, we get Nebula and Tony
Yes.
In the
It's such
ship.
a beautiful scene.
playing like paper football.
Yeah.
And Nebula is so happy to win.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
And you can't really. You have to know Nebula to know that her emotion was extremely happy, even though for most people that doesn't look happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Fair game. You won.
She's got the RBF pretty hard, but also it's a robotic bitch face as well, so it works on 2 levels.
RRBF.
The reason she is a robot is because she kept losing to Gamora.
Definitely.
Maybe get good scrub. How about that?
Yeah.
I did like how she didn't really get the game at first. So when Tony hit the little paper football, she tries to grab it.
Yeah.
She's like,
And missed. She didn't catch it. What an idiot! You're a robot. Do math,
catch
idiot.
it, damn it, God.
This whole intro scene on the ship is
ship
great.
was-
It's so good. Like, obviously, we know that. Actually, first time I saw, I was not positive. I was ready for the Russos to fucking spin some turns. I totally was like, if Tony dies up here, like, I wouldn't put it past him. Like, really. Like,
I mean, that was fully when I expected Iron Man to die. And, like, there was, like, a heartfelt message and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just, like, we're running out of oxygen. You know, I hope somebody gets this. And, like, I really like the emotional power behind that scene.
because then, like, at that point, hey, we have to go back and find somebody. Is Tony. We have to go back and get Tony before he stupidly left on the mission to fight Thanos. Like, that could have been a plot point. I'm glad we didn't do that, but...
Yeah. So they eventually get rescued by Captain Marvel. Tony's sitting there.
Captain MacGuffin.
There's oh god,
Captain
I don't know if I want to get to that point yet about Captain MacGuffin.
We'll get there
But
eventually.
I think
Captain Deus Ex
I-
Machina.
I feel like they did a good job
Ooh, Andy's not
cutting
liking
her
this.
MacGuffinness.
Get it?
What?
MacGuffin is the do everything.
Yeah.
Like you have a cube that does all the things you need the cube to do.
The
genie
goober.
in the lamp.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If
The
you
goober
need, if you
from
need
Into the
something
Spider-Verse.
done, chances are Captain Marvel has that ability.
God. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
But
Hey, we have to go kill Thanos, like, in the next scene. Well, I'll do it. That's fine.
yeah, yeah,
Cool.
So anyway, how did you know where they were?
It's possible. So, like, she was on Earth,
Wasn't
right?
there a distress beacon or something going off?
I'm positive Rocket could find his own ship, right?
I assume, but
There's
a lot of
some
space.
sort of some sort of life support was off, right? Or so thrusters or power was whatever, but there's some sort of life support because we had oxygen still, yeah. So I'm sure there was something Rocket Raccoon, who was still on Earth. If you saw at the end of Captain Marvel was on Earth. They found it.
Yeah.
Rocket was like on Earth, so like I'm sure Rocket could have been like boop 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 boop. Oh, it's over there. And Captain Marvel's like, hey, I'm there. Hey, neato.
She had her long hair when she rescued him, right?
I think
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
because that was
so
still that
it
was
most
before
likely might be the end of her
5
movie. That
years.
after credits. Yeah, I was kind of lost.
Yeah.
But it could have been when she showed up in her end credits and like, oh my god,
Yeah,
we're trying to
the
fucking
Where's Fury?
find these people.
Yeah.
And then she goes off and
yeah. So
because Rocket would have been there and he knew where they were going. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After he was unmourning a tree.
Yeah.
The poor giving tree.
So she rescues them. Tony reunites with Pepper. He's
Great scene.
So goddamn happy to see her.
Ugh.
Because they both thought each other could probably be dead.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
there's a 50-50 chance.
Well, not 50-50 for Tony.
I like the first
Pepper
thing he
definitely
says
thought Tony was dead.
when he gets off the ship. He's just like, I lost the boy.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, ooh.
I don't. Yeah, that whole scene in Infinity War, it just that's another one that just like really gets to me. Like that whole performance from Spider-Man falling into Iron Man's arms.
Don't you fucking apologize, you little kid.
Oh my god!
It's not your fault. Not you, man.
Like, and you know, finding out that well, it was directed, but still for the most part just like ad-libbed between the two characters. Like, that was just great. That one cuts me right down.
Do you know why it was ad-libbed?
Because the writing was bad for the scene. It didn't work.
Script.
Because Tom Holland didn't have a script. He's like, and what's happening right now is you just feel really like you hurt. You just don't feel good. And he's like, I guess I'll work with that. Tom didn't know there was a snap happening. He was allowed to have that information. He was going to tell everybody.
I love how they directed him.
Yeah.
All right, you're fighting someone big. Who? He's big.
He's a real good big guy.
Okay.
Maybe you could shut your fucking mouth, Tom. We tell you what's happening with the CGI.
I think I read that Robert Downey Jr. was the only one who got the whole script.
Yeah, something like that. That's
crazy.
So they get back. They're trying to find the stones. Tony's sitting in a chair with an IV drip.
They made him look deathly really
he
well.
looked
It was
really
super
bad,
good.
which was great because he should be in bad shape. He goes on a rant versus Cap. It makes, to be honest, a lot of good points.
Yeah.
When he's like, "I needed you,"
Yeah.
many years ago, and he's like, that line that he's like, "What if we lose? We'll do that together too." He's
You
like,
weren't there.
"You weren't there, and we
We already
lost."
lost. Fuck you.
I mean, yeah, he
That's
was
where they
right
should have
on
put
a
the
lot of
F-bomb
stuff.
right
Yeah.
there.
And then
they
he-
get one.
I like that scene where he pulls that nanobot housing off his chest. He's like, "If you find Thanos, you put this on and you hide."
Yeah. Yeah, it's like petrified.
Yeah,
Petrified of Thanos. obviously. He got stabbed and he annihilated all but 2 of his. Because, like, Tony got it real rough because all of his crew but one other person up on Titan got decimated. So he was just like, did he only leave her alive because it's his daughter? Did he just fuck everybody but me and his daughter? Oh, God.
Like, it was the one. That was one thing that I was really glad to see, specifically on the Titan scene, was it really explored that Thanos was, like, good at all things. He wasn't just, like, an unga-bunga, beat-em-up, caveman fucking dude.
He was smart.
Yeah, he was also, like, wickedly smart. And, like,
So wicked smart.
Yeah, and he was
Wicked smart.
He was so
Yeah,
wicked
he was
smart.
wicked smart, and he had that emotional drive and shit. But yeah, he, like with the interaction of Tony, like instead of it just being like having some sort of like expositions showing that Thanos was smart, it was just like, you know, you're not the only one cursed with knowledge. Like it was subtle enough that I enjoyed that, to where it was just like, okay, this guy isn't just like, I'm a big strong guy. I'm gonna beat all the guys up. Bo Pelini.
That reminds me of an Onion headline that says, "Podcast has now developed into just inside jokes for an hour,"
Yeah,
and that was just an inside joke
that
that
was-
no one's gonna get.
no one.
Okay, so Tony's rant, Captain Marvel wants to go kill Thanos. Of course, they
by
say-
herself. Because, of course, she can. She could have. All by herself.
She could have.
Yeah.
Oh my.
She has that power. What I was gonna say is I like how they kind of wrote her off.
Yeah.
She has a lot of shit to do. She's not bound to Earth.
Totally.
I like that they gave
Green
you that
Lantern,
reason.
yeah.
She's busy.
That was an answer. The other answer I think I talked about in the podcast is make her a battery, and she's running low on charge because she's been doing this for fucking 10 years.
Yeah, because
And looks great. And looks fucking great.
Yeah.
I liked short hair.
No, it's like Skylar made the really shitty joke at the end of Captain Marvel of like at the end credits scene. Yeah. So like this all happened in the 80s, right? End credits thing happens 30 years later. It's like or yeah, 90s. So 20 years later, it's like, hey, she looks real great, huh? It's like it aged really well.
Yeah, like a fine fucking wine.
Hey,
cryogenically frozen with Disney's head. Jesus Christ, what the fuck are you doing?
Hey, the Tesseract never aged.
You're right.
But she's a human being. She's a human being.
got
though.
powers.
She's a superhero.
Oh, okay.
Is Quill gonna age though? Now that he's not a god, half god,
Yes, I'd assume so.
basically human now.
Like he's been aging this whole point.
Yeah, I mean, we did see him as a child.
And he's a dude. You know,
Dude,
you're
Not-
one sandwich away
you're
from
not
being
a
fat. Like he
man.
can be fat. We know this. So
So,
Speaking of fat.
I want to reel us back in. We're getting ahead of
Yeah.
ourselves.
Sorry.
I was a big fan of Farmer Thanos.
Loved it.
yeah.
I mean, it's just something's weird about seeing Thanos in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
He's just wearing a white t-shirt, some shorts. He's
White.
like making soup or something.
Yeah. Still wearing the gauntlet, cuz.
Yeah, no one's there to see it.
Yeah.
Like he's not stunting on anybody, but
Yeah.
he still wears it.
Yeah.
Watch
Oh,
this hand
busted
in
ass
7
gauntlet.
years.
give me a little of that glove stink, Thanos. I just want to smell that glove.
Of course, Captain Marvel comes in, hits him with a good right uppercut. No, she basically just flies into him. Hulkbuster Bruce and Rhodey
Comes out of the ground.
bust in and grab him. That was brutal. I kind of felt
Yeah.
bad for Thanos.
Oh, I mean,
I think that's kind of
it's an arm for an arm, you know?
being. Yeah, I think that's kind of the whole point of that whole scene was just like, without the Infinity Stones and all that. Now that he's done, he just doesn't. You know, it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything worked out how he wanted it to. Yeah. And I think like it showed him, you know, not in the armor and a t-shirt or whatever. He's just a very normal dude. He's just a guy, and it also, you know, kind of played to the fact that like when they did, you know, dehead him, when they popped.
You go too far.
Oh no! But when
When they popped his
I'll-
cherry.
I'll come back to it.
I wanted to mention first that the reason they found him is because he used the stones again.
yeah.
He used the stones to destroy the stones, and that's why he's in such bad shape.
Mm-hmm.
They cut off his hand, or well, his forearm basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when they realized that the stones aren't there. And that's when Thor gets pissed and cuts off his head. So we have a decapitation in a Disney movie.
Yeah.
And Thor finally says, I went for the head.
That head came off like Play-Doh.
Oh yeah.
And
I
man,
mean, I know it's going against Stormbreaker,
It's
but that thing
Stormbreaker,
was just
baby.
like, it was like, boop.
Well, so it both, visually and like plot wise, it just wasn't very rewarding, and they play on that. And I think that lends credence to the fact that, like, yeah, now he's just a guy. He took a big hit, absorbing 2 blasts from Infinity Stones, both in Snap and then destroying him.
true.
But like, at this point, he's just a dude. He's not gonna do anything else. He's just kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
And with it being not as rewarding as everybody wanted it to, I think it also just kind of helps the fact it's like, yeah, I guess, too little too late. Or just the right amount too late.
So I was talking to Matt before the podcast about this, like a small interview with the Russo brothers where they answered like a bunch of crazy questions. And one of the questions was, in Infinity War, why didn't Doctor Strange cut off Thanos' arm like he did the one guy, right?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that was Doctor Strange, though. I think that was...
Oh yeah. But why
Wong,
didn't
but-
that happen? And they were like, oh, Thanos' skin is nigh impervious. Like it's really, really hard to cut. And so Stormbreaker being able to go into his shoulder and just cut off his whole thing is because he was in this weakened state from snapping his fingers. And it's the only reason it happened. Yeah. It's fucking Russo brothers thinking of everything.
All right. So after that, we get 5 years later, slowly on the screen.
It really
Years later.
really carries weight though.
Oh, yeah.
It's 5 whole seconds where you gotta sit there and be like, what are they gonna say? Is it days? Is it months? Oh.
5 fortnights later.
5 fortnights. I love that game. I hope it makes an appearance in this movie.
It just might.
5 Call of Duty Prestiges later.
So, we get to the scene where Cap is basically running a, I don't know how you put it, support group.
Yeah. For snappies.
And
Snapsters.
it's really interesting that, like, I mean, everyone just knows what happened. Like, this isn't just superhero stuff. He even said it. He even said Thanos by name.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the people all the superheroes who were on the front lines came back and went to the government and were like,
Oh, I'm sure they did. It's just
So-
like kind of a first,
FYI. Well, like everybody knows not what happened, but everybody knows that, like, hey, supervillains are a thing.
Yeah.
And like we got the Sokovia, right? Is that the place where
Sokovia.
Wanda blew up the guy and killed a bunch of people?
That was Nigeria.
Yeah, okay. Well, like
Sokovia is when they dropped a city on everybody.
yeah, well, like everybody knows about that. Like everybody.
Yeah.
Like
It's weird. I doubt they would know, like, Ultron by name or the Chitauri by name.
Sure.
But they're just like, here's this dude. He's like Satan incarnate to them.
I'm not positive.
Him from the Powerpuff Girls.
They
but-
might know Chitauri by name. I'd have to go back and see Homecoming because that has a lot. The Vulture might say the word, or the Tinkerer might say the word Chitauri. He might, but
might.
I don't remember.
That's
So,
a good point.
If he does, edit this out, Matt.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to
Thanks.
go back and watch the movie.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, it's yeah, I really like the support group scene. How it's just it. I hope to see more of this in any upcoming Marvel movies if we are going to have any sort of continuations. But like of just maybe during that break, how people did things.
Yeah, because that brings up so many questions that I think are really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, like I was bringing it up in our group text.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if suddenly you're 15 and your girlfriend's 20 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to
Or-
break it off, right?
Yeah, and then
Yeah, duh. Huh.
I jokingly
course.
hinted at or made it about bureaucracy, but like let's say you were a fucking inmate and you were supposed to serve 5 more years of your sentence. Is that done? Did you? I mean, you were disintegrated for 5 years. If you're 15, can you vote? Can you buy cigarettes? Can you get a gun? Like there's
I wouldn't.
Obviously,
think so,
you can
because
get a gun.
They're still actually 15. They didn't age.
Sure, but like ID license birth year, like it's you gotta factor in like they didn't they didn't age during the process, but
Everyone has a new ID that just has like this on the.
got
Oh,
it.
you're a snapper.
-5.
Yeah, -5.
yeah. So like that's. I mean, it's minutia, and who gives a shit because it's not superhero related.
It's
but like
fun to think about though. Like they've spent 22 movies crafting a universe, and they left us off with some big fucking questions that it's fun to answer.
Yeah. I mean, it's like my whole thing about like the purge. Like, yeah, murder and stuff is legal, but so is like is downloading international movies and shit. Is that legal? Is there international copyright no longer legal, but just in the US? Like, can I steal a car? If I have a car for the next day, do I have to register it to my name because I stole it during the purge? And like, it's not relevant to the whole overarching plot, but there are a lot of like weird little societal things that I would like to see answered.
What if I stole a balloon on Free Balloon Day?
Oh yeah,
during the purge.
There you go. Well, no, that's 2 days after the purge.
Oh, okay. I got my calendars mixed up.
Yeah.
Still looking at
It's off the
2017
Jewish calendar. The Free Balloon Day is off the Jewish calendar, and then the Purge goes off the Gregorian.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Where are we in Infinity or Endgame?
We are at Cap, kind of dealing with this twice. When he woke up from the ice, all of his friends were gone, and now he just lost half of them.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he's. I was gonna say 0 for 2, but he's like 0 for 1.5, huh?
Yeah, it's really interesting seeing like because a lot of it you can just kind of distance yourself emotionally from like, oh yeah, a bunch of superheroes died. Yeah, I mean that's just a thing that happens in comic books and movies, whatever. I mean, not really, but seeing it from like a Joe Blow's perspective, I think was really, really cool. Of just like the guy recounting his date and how like, I cried during appetizers, he cried during desserts. And like,
it's been 5
You know who that was?
Over it. That was one of the Russo brothers. Yeah. Andy,
gay.
did you see this movie?
Yeah.
Would you like to say something?
Oh, sorry. I was just looking at
Tam and I are sort of like the old Muppets, but just of like goofs.
Like, I don't know. You guys are covering everything I want to say, so.
Well, then talk before us.
Yeah.
All right. Andy, let's talk about the rat that saved half the universe.
I fucking love that. That's one of the that's the timeline of the 14 million plus that does it. Is a fucking rat. Oh, sorry, a rat.
It was a mouse. A mouse saved the Marvel
It
universe.
looked pretty ratty to me.
The Russo brothers used the word mouse and then went, get it? Disney.
Oh god.
Yeah.
That's
Bada
right.
bing.
That's what they had to do in exchange for cutting someone's head off.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, fine. A mouse will save the universe.
I love how it just launches.
Launches.
Ant-Man into the fucking wall. Just open it up, launch.
Yeah.
It's
He doesn't come out. He just gets fucking trebucheted into the wall.
yeah.
Welcome back to reality, bitch.
I'm kind of surprised he bothered to write help. Like that didn't look super sturdy, and he's Ant-Man. I know his suit was kind of fucked up, but it's like a chain link fence. I think you could probably fight your way out of that one. If I was suddenly in a different place than I was, quote unquote, 5 hours ago because of how the quantum realm works, I'd be like, "Fucking get me out of here!"
He's also a felon. Like, he's got to so like if he can do it the right way and be like, help, like please don't make me go back to jail.
Yeah.
Sorry, that actor, the security guard for that area, totally took me out of the movie because I know him as Chang from Community, or the Hangover character. So I'm like, what? Don't talk.
Or what's his face from Hangover? Yeah.
It was really interesting having Scott Lang find his own name on the memorial.
Oh, yes. Loved it. And him freaking out because of his daughter.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he was like,
Such a real scene.
yeah. He was like, "Hey, the vanish.
And all the people like
Oh, that's me.
all the people like going to like look at the memorial, kind of like it'd be like us going to like the Vietnam memorial and some guy who was in his 20s running in front of people. Pardon me, I'm like, happened 5 years ago. What are you doing? He was running in front of people. Sorry, excuse me. Like he's never seen this before. It was just like It's very cool. It's very cool
Yeah.
to like put yourself in the mind space.
It's a solid world building scene where just like memorials were erected. There's whole remembrances and shit like that, and just in this town, there's probably some everywhere. But
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I love the glimpses into everyday life that they gave us. I think that was really solid because it could have just been like, yeah, here's where the Avengers are. Here's the plan. Bada bing, bada boom, done. But bada bing. But yeah, we got a little bit of flavor encapsulated into like this whole world, because Joe Blow down the street isn't part of the Avengers, but we get to see the memorial that
We get to see the kid riding the bike.
Yeah.
Who's like totally a doucher.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a douchebag.
Yeah. Kevin Spicoli,
I mean,
what an asshole.
San Francisco,
It also there were some like things that didn't make sense to me, but the movie was so overall good that they don't really bother me.
Go on. The anticipation.
His daughter seemed
And
way
he's got
too
the
old.
butt cancer again.
His daughter
For
seemed too old.
5 years.
So at the end of I bet you're thinking about the little girl from Ant-Man and not the little girl from Ant-Man versus the Wasp, who is like
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
or Ant-Man and the
I
Wasp
know
versus
she was
the
a
Wasp.
little older in that.
That'll be the next movie when they get divorced.
But at the same time,
She was like 12 or something. wasn't
yeah.
she?
Yeah, and so 5 years makes her 17. She's just a tall 17-year-old. Have you actually seen a 17-year-old?
All the time.
No.
Yeah.
Does a 17-year-old see you while that's happening? But
She looked like she was 22.
there easily could be like 17-year-olds that look like adults, like there are. There are some 14-year-olds that put on too much makeup, and you're
I
like,
just
what?
went
Those leggings?
like,
Should I? Is that okay?
Yeah, I could grow a beard when I was fucking 16, so much to some of my coworkers' chagrin, but yeah.
I thought she looked too old. It was mismatched casting in my,
So
in my opinion.
the
I think whatever. I agree with your opinion. I think your opinion is really cool and valid.
the I guess de facto leader of the Avengers now is Romanov.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was just sitting in her chair.
Spend the most time with Fury.
screens.
Well, I thought that Cap would be like kind of doing it, but I guess not. Like it was just
Yeah.
She spent the most time with Fury, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Fury knows how to run a company or run a government or whatever.
Yeah,
Shadow government.
Shadow government. Yeah, fucking Shadow Moses,
And
Black Widow over here.
I think in a way Cap was trying to move on because he mentioned that to Romanov, even though deep down in his heart he can't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but he's trying.
At the same time, Captain America's not a bureaucrat. Captain America's a punchy do-gooder, right? Like that's his skill set is not, hey, how do I keep track of the whole world? How do I keep the whole world plus now the universe in check? I punched out Hitler a bunch of times. That's above my pay grade, you know?
Yeah, he's like a lead field agent, I guess.
Yeah, like a captain
That makes sense.
of America.
No, captains are definitely writing desks. Fuck you. As an enlisted man, fuck you.
Hey, sorry,
Commissioned officers can suck my goddamn dick. They can suck the shit out of my ass
All
and
right.
chew on the peanuts.
All right.
As
all
a
right.
the only military knowledge I know is from Warhammer 40K, and I remember the captain was always just in the front of the dudes.
Oh, okay.
He was worth more points than the other guys.
So at the end of the scene, she's basically talking to Rhodey. He's the only one that doesn't leave right away,
Yeah.
and mentions that there more gang members have been slaughtered. Clearly, it's Barton. His motivation is my family got snapped, and you're still here, so fuck you.
Great motivation.
Yeah.
Super rad.
Yeah.
It's almost like Two-Face, you know? It's like, but like when the coin flip goes the right way, he's just like, yeah, I'm still gonna do this.
There's no coin flipping.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly like. I'd sit down and watch a movie of like the whole exploits that's happening off scene with Hawkeye. I think that'd be just super rad.
A Hawkeye spin-off movie where John Wick the Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Oh god.
If you told me 8 years ago when the original Avengers came out that I'd want a movie about Hawkeye, I'd spit in your face.
when Thor 1 happened, he's like, see that guy up there? You're going to want to watch a movie about him. Like,
a whole hour flick about that guy.
This is also where Cap looks on the bright side because he comes in and he's like, hey, you should get out more often. And he's like, there's whales in the harbor.
Yeah.
Cleaner water.
You don't have to cry into that sandwich.
Yeah. You can cry to this dick.
They are friends.
My coworker was like, man, I didn't like Black Widow because like she's such a slut. She was after everybody. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like she's after Hawkeye and then Cap in his movie and then Bruce and Ultron. I'm like, the only one that I like actually felt like a real connection like that was Ultron. But then 8 years happened and they never got together. So like it's over. Like
that person might have some deep rooted issues somewhere.
Yeah,
girlfriend done him wrong.
Maybe.
They were
all right. So where are we at now, Matt?
We are Ant-Man showing up.
Oh yeah,
at the front gate.
That was cool.
Is this a recording?
Yeah,
it's the front door.
They're like, holy shit! And this is what's kind of cool is a lot of people expected the time stone to be used.
Yes,
where they kind of subverted that and they used the quantum realm instead.
Yeah.
Which I kind of knew more and more as more trailers came out and they're wearing those suits. Mm-hmm. A lot of people recognize them as the quantum realm suits, but still.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I actually went trailerless on this one.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't see a single trailer and I didn't I saw like the announcement trailers a couple months ago and last year, and after that I was just like, nope, I'm gonna hold off because this is gonna be a movie I'm gonna see anyway. So I didn't need any more reason to see it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I only watched the two announcement ones, like the teaser one and then the actual trailer, and then I just didn't watch anything else.
Yeah.
So for the two Ant-Man movies always seemed to kind of off in their own world.
A little bit.
There wasn't a lot of connection. But goddamn, Ant-Man was like centerpiece here.
Yeah,
yeah. This was like his whole arc.
This was Ant-Man.
They finally pieced together that America loves Paul Rudd. That guy can do no wrong. He could come in here, kick in that door, call me the N-word, and slap me in the face. I'd still want to suck his dick. Like that guy. America loves Paul Rudd, and I'm talking about real America right now.
Yeah,
you think he's saying controversial shit? That's all we're all thinking.
Invite him over to meet Camilla after he does all that. Hey, come on over.
Yeah, if my wife leaves me for Paul Rudd, I'll help her pack. I mean, yeah, wish him well. Hopefully, I'll get invited to a barbecue.
So Tony Stark has a kid.
Yeah,
Tony Stark does have a kid.
That was cool. I like that.
I thought he was talking to a dog at first.
That's what I thought too. I thought it was like he was like talking to like their dog or something. Then I'm like, oh,
and they did name her Morgan.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Nice little callback.
Oh, from Infinity War?
Yeah.
I just put that together. Thank you very much. That's rad. That's
Did you
real.
really?
No, yeah, like right now.
Oh, okay.
100%.
He was today's years old. Yeah, after Pepper Potts' eccentric uncle. Yeah. That was a nice little callback to that.
I like that.
But yeah, they really kind of pushed family values with like, Clint having such a big loss and now Tony having such a big gain. It was like a nice little duality that like people were still forming lives post snap.
Perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
As all things should be.
Okay. But yeah, I thought that was a really heartfelt scene.
Yeah, I do like when she's wearing the Iron Man helmet or whatever that he said he got for his. He's like, I got that for your mom. She doesn't wear anything I give her.
Yeah. What a good
that's gonna come back
around.
Yeah,
it's so good. So good.
That was really
I bet Gwyneth Paltrow's fucking excited about it too. Like, fucking finally, man. 22 movies and I finally get to do shit.
Yeah, I gotta wear one once in the movies and like it just blew me out of the room. God damn.
So they come over, I guess, let's see, who it is? Scott, Lang, Romanov, and Cap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They want to mention to Tony that, hey, we got an idea for time travel. Tony's like, have you thought about this, you idiots?
And wasn't it, he wanted he wanted like a 99% like possibility that it would work type deal.
Yeah, he didn't want any theories. He wanted something proven.
Yeah.
It also seemed like he had been like dabbling with that already, which
I think-
I liked.
Probably in the 5 years, yeah, he was probably dabbling with messing with something.
Yeah, we know Tony. He dabbles.
Yeah.
Tony's a dabbler.
What I'm wondering is,
I mean, you got a kid, so
I said dabble, not diddle.
is that now? I thought that's what the kids were calling it, dabbling.
Yeah.
Dab on that dabble. Fucking Hulk.
My question is, did they stay for lunch?
No.
They left.
I don't think they did.
Because he said if you
If you
don't talk shop.
But the next scene was just them walking to the car.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but nobody was like cleaning the crumbs off their mouths. Or
Yeah,
anything.
like I understood it as
It's
they
very
just
plausible
left.
they could have had a sandwich.
I bet Scott would have had a sandwich in his hand if he stayed for lunch.
Yeah.
Can I get a roadie?
Yeah, can I get a walk me down on one of them tuna salads? Thank you.
Walk me down.
I think it's funny that Scott Lang wants to call it a time heist,
Yes,
so good.
I love that.
which is apropos for Lang.
The one thing overall, I have to say, this movie might have had the best overall humor
Oh yeah.
out of all the Marvel movies. Like, there was some genuinely good humor in this movie.
So do you think that that was because it was, in such a dark spot that it facilitated that, or do you think that it was like do you think it was more utilitarian, or do you think it was intentional, like, we're going to make this very lighthearted even though it's dark?
Well, they had their funny characters, so like Ant-Man and stuff.
You got to
but
bring some sort of levity.
yeah, like everyone knew the movie was going to be doom and gloom. So
I mean, jumping ahead, you even get to like see that is America's ass. That's not accidentally funny.
Yeah.
that was
Well, yeah, I wonder if they were trying to incorporate more humor for the sole purpose that it was just they knew it was going to be a very sad movie.
Oh,
all over.
probably.
yeah, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, so where are we at here? Professor Hulk.
Oh my god.
Dude, that was so cool.
It cuts a Hulk, and he is become the perfect version of himself. Got the strength and the smarts.
So what? He just
Perfectly balanced.
He
As
went
all
to
things should be.
the gamma. He just took gamma
the
radiation
gamma lab.
for like 18 months.
And figured it out.
He was studying it for 18 months.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he took gamma radiation for 18 months.
I
That's a goddamn long time. Just, stand in a room,
All right, cool.
get
fucking
blasted right in the chin.
Put some pickles on, turns them back into cucumbers.
but huge cucumbers.
Yeah, big
That-
fuck off cucumbers.
That whole scene was really good with the pictures of the
selfie.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, which is crazy because the public used to be like scared of the Hulk.
Yeah.
and it's come full circle where they want pictures, and he's going dab, dab.
Listen to your mother.
Listen to your
Yeah.
mother.
I hated that character.
Really?
I hated him.
Really, you hated Professor Hulk?
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. The best of both worlds made me so happy.
I loved it so much.
Upon second viewing, so when I first saw the Hulk, that whole intro scene with the selfie and the dab, I was just like, well, sick. We dated the movie really, really hard. This is now a 2019 movie.
Well,
Cool.
not necessarily because he seems dorky enough that he'd be dabbing well after it was cool.
Sure.
yeah, that was definitely Banner
So
personality.
so we go back and we watch this movie in my great adopted grandkids watch this movie, right?
Yeah.
And it's 2050 because I don't know how generations work. We're gonna see that, and it's like us going back and watching some movie where somebody's playing on the newest. I went back.
Cyber virtual way.
I went back and I watched Fast and Furious for the first time ever.
Oh, and all the stuff they steal.
Yeah,
They're stealing VCRs, and somebody's playing a PlayStation 1 inside of their car, and that's a cool scene.
you're making a great point. Movies do get older as years go by.
Yeah.
So when you're watching it in 2050, it
You're-
is going to feel dated.
You're right. But that's like, hey, here's a general. No, that's 2019. Boop, right there. Found it. Pow. Just for like the same reason the Fortnite scene was just like, which we'll get to.
All right, so let's see. Tony is working on it because he can't stop working on time travel. Got his daughter to say shit. Pepper couldn't stop him. She actually this time was like, maybe you should pursue it.
Yeah.
She was a good
Cool.
wife.
Cool.
She's a good wife.
Cool turnaround.
Tony returns to the Avengers, I guess, what is it, compound?
Headquarters, whatever.
Yeah, and he brought the shield.
After the Hulk couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, they.
I call this a win.
Yeah.
You're right. I agree. That was really rad. You did a thing nobody else in the entire world could do.
Yeah, that's right. They tried to send Scott back in time. He comes back as like a kid and then an old man and a baby.
Yeah.
I like that he was like, I don't know which version of me peed my suit.
Someone peed my pants. Yeah. I'm not done slamming Hulk. I'll get back to it, but let's move on. Just pretend I've said a bunch of like really angry shit about it.
All right, so next scene, they're going to recruit Thor.
Dude.
Valkyrie, Korg, and Meek are alive.
I love it.
I was so happy Korg was alive. So happy.
Hey, man.
Hey, man. Korg is easily one of my favorite side characters.
This is my buddy.
Mike.
Thor is sad and fat.
Dude, fat Thor.
Erica hated that.
Really?
I was like, that's weird. They're not showing a lot of like Thor's like body, and then he does that bend over, and you see just man tits, and I was like, oh no.
He's just been drinking for the last 5 years.
I love it.
I know, Fat Thor was amazing.
I love it not because like, haha, look, it's a fat guy. I love it because of like, look at his arc as a character.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean,
it's
he's
so
literally
good.
lost like everything.
Yeah.
He went from being kind of this detached, godlike person to coming in Infinity Wars, wiping people out, fulfilling whatever destiny, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, realizing it was all bullshit and kind of slumping down.
So Korg is playing Fortnite. He's getting trolled. Thor gets on the mic and yells at the kid.
Noob Masters. What was it?
69.
69, yeah.
The sex number.
I
That's how I remember it.
Thanks, guy. I saw a tweet from the guy who like apparently owns that account. He's like, don't worry, everybody. Thor did not come and shove my arms up my ass. I am okay.
So next scene we get Hawkeye in Japan. A lot of people were upset that they didn't hear the name Ronin because in the comics he's.
I mean, they basically alluded that.
He's
got a big tattoo.
The thing is, in the MCU, there already is a Ronin.
Yeah.
Ronin the Accuser.
Oh, right.
Why
Yeah.
they didn't do it, but
So that's why I was like, a lot of people were upset with that. I was like,
you
Semantics.
know.
it's just one name. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it's.
I mean, shit, they changed Ultron to Tony's creation instead of Hank's. That's a big one.
Yeah.
This is just a name.
Yeah, I mean, like,
that
nobody's
bothered
really...
me a little bit.
Nobody's
did
up in arms about
when
like,
it was new.
Yeah.
the Netflix series not having Avenger Tower in the background. Like, fucking, who cares?
I thought this was interesting when they're trying to set up the quantum realm and everything. You remember how in Winter Soldier Cap kept saying "on your left"?
Yeah.
Thor was all walking like slow as hell, and Tony's like trying to hurry up, and he gave him an "on your left."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that was intentional, but knowing the Russo brothers, it might have been.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was.
I mean, that was their first movie too.
The Big
Right.
Lebowski references were pretty fucking good throughout the whole movie too.
yeah.
I just don't want to be like an English teacher who's like, they said his t-shirt was red. It must mean he's angry. And when
Yeah.
the writer's like,
like
his
sway.
t-shirt was just red.
Just way looking into it.
Yeah. Lang is too scared to go in the quantum realm, so Barton decides he's going to do it.
Down.
He
Super
goes
down.
back in
That was
time.
a
He
neat
hears
scene.
his kids, but gets pulled back before he can see them.
Super rad.
And he
And he
brings
had
the
big-
glove.
Yeah.
Which big spoilers does not get put back.
All right.
So that's not like Infinity Stone level.
They created another timeline.
The timeline where they have to buy a glove.
All these new Netflix shows are
have to
going
go
to
to
be in the gloveless timeline. That's the thing that separates the two universes.
They're destitute later because their son never became a pro baseball player.
Yeah. Fucking, they had to go to Dick's Sporting Goods and then got a flat tire, and then now they needed AAA, and
hit
then,
by
like,
a car.
That delayed them 10 minutes. Oh Jesus, that 10 minutes changed everything.
So they have a big brainstorming session. Thor is completely pathetic throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so goddamn funny.
I really like the Thor Ragnarok Thor, that version of Thor that they've continued on.
Oh
I
yeah,
love that Thor.
At this point, Hulk he looks like he's eating like a pint of ice cream. It's a gallon.
It's a hunk
It looks like a pint in his hand, but it's a full gallon.
That's so rad.
And it's actually his Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
Hunka Burnin' Hulk or whatever.
Yeah, Hunka Burnin' Fudge Hulk or something. Yeah,
Whatever
That's
the hell it is. Yeah, Fudge Hulk.
I'd love the Fudge Hulk.
And this is basically where they kind of come down to how they're going to get these Infinity Stones from the past through the quantum realm.
Yeah.
And they have to go to very specific points in time to go get them. Including the time where 3 were in New York at one time.
Makes sense. Makes total sense. Super down.
This is kind of when they mentioned that these stones need to be put back. Because you're going to screw up a lot of realities if you don't put these stones back where you got them.
Yeah.
I'm excited to burn through these Infinity Stone scenes. I had some comments and japes.
Well, we're about at an hour, so if you have those comments, keep them concise.
Okay.
That's so rad. This movie's so fucking rad.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a podcast as long as the movie.
So they go back in time. Hulk, Tony, Cap, and Ant-Man to New York. Hulk gets to see previous Hulk smashing a bunch of shit. And they're
And then
like,
he reluctantly just
I love the blend in.
yeah, look, blend in. He's like, I think it's gratuitous, but all right. And he's going,
It's good.
cars.
That was funny. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like how they didn't. Never mind. I'm gonna get on a Hulk thing. Never mind.
I liked his outfit with the wife beater and like the jeans. I loved.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looked really really good.
Hulk talks to the Ancient One.
That was a cool little cameo.
Yeah.
I was happy to see that.
She doesn't want to help him at first, and this is when he mentions, he's like, then why would Strange give it up? And she's like, willingly?
He's the best of us,
Well,
all of us.
So I thought that was going to cause some like crazy friction where like she wasn't going to then go and help Doctor Strange become Doctor Strange. That might have been a thing, but then it
kinda
evolved
wrapped
beyond it
itself.
where it was just like, oh yeah, well I mean if he did it then I'll do it.
I like how Hulk was like able to like play with her magic. He was like, if you put the stone back, like he moved the stone
yeah,
that
back
was really
into
neat,
the time.
yeah.
He was in the astral plane at that point
Oh, yeah,
because
that's
she
a good
popped him
point.
out, which was such a good scene of
Oh.
popping Bruce out of Hulk's body. So rad.
I didn't
Such
see
a
this on
good
both
scene.
views, but apparently she like propped his body up with
Yeah.
like a hat and stuff in
yeah.
the background. I didn't see that on both views.
Thor and Rocket, they go to Asgard during the events of Thor: The Dark World to extract the Reality Stone
Yeah.
from Jane.
The Aether.
Yeah, Thor has a panic attack.
Hilarious.
That was a sweet scene.
He has a
though,
great scene
mom.
with his mom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's. I mean, it really kind of brought out that, like, yeah, he had lost a lot, and this was like right when he was about to start losing pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Thor didn't help much, but Rocket did get the stone.
I love how they kept. Everyone was calling him a rabbit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that.
Loved it.
I love how they made that continuation where it's like,
rabbit.
no, he's not though.
It was at this point Thor got Mjolnir back.
Dude, that was awesome when he was like, hold on a second. He puts his hand up, like, is it gonna happen?
And
I am worthy.
yes, I'm still worthy.
That made me so happy that he got the hammer back.
I'm sure that's part of this whole 5-year thing is like he doesn't have this constant reminder of like I'm doing my dad proud, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
like-
not worthy. But I mean, he was. Do you need to be worthy to wield
No.
Stormbreaker?
No.
No. It
I thought
didn't,
that was
not-
a king's
it does-
axe,
it
though.
didn't have the secret Odin kiss on it. He
Yeah.
didn't go, no one but Thor, and then send it down to Earth.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then Stanley breaks his truck. Because Odin kissed the hammer. He didn't kiss Stormbreaker.
No kisses for
think about that.
Stormbreaker.
Only for my son. And then send it down.
Sweet baby boy.
Yeah, I was really happy that I got Mjolnir back.
Oh, yeah.
Super happy.
I mean, the payoff because of that 3-second hit. We'll get there.
War Machine and Nebula head to Morag.
Morad?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
That scene was funny.
With Romanoff and
With
Yeah.
Romanov and Barton, and they take Rocket's ship to go to Vormir.
Oh, yeah.
I don't I don't know why they both all four went and then two people.
Probably because they didn't
could have just did
where
this.
Vormir was.
But like if they didn't, well, I mean, we could just time travel and put you in New York, and time travel and put you here, and time travel and put you here, and time travel. Why did they go here and then split off? Besides exposition.
I see your point.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they traveled to where they were in, like they were already in New York. So when they time traveled, it was like less of a quantum jump to get to that spot. I don't know. That's
maybe it had to do with like a distance.
We didn't see Thor and Rocket take a ship to Asgard or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Or go through the Bifrost.
But at the same time, so here's the only thing that I can make me think. So none of the crew who were here knew where had been to that spot, right?
Yeah.
They'd never been there. Yeah. But Nebula had been to this one spot, right? Had been to Morag?
I guess.
And so nobody had been to Vormir.
Yeah.
And so from there, they were like, I'm Nebula, I know the coordinates to get from here to there, but I don't know how to time travel to there. Because
maybe that's the thing, yeah.
I see. All right.
That is the only way that can maybe make it sense.
Because Thor knew where Asgard was.
Right.
Yeah.
War Machine knocks out Peter Quill.
Dude, that whole scene was
just
pretty
one
fun.
sucker punch to the head.
So he's an idiot. Yes.
And it's kind of cool. We get the opposite view of him singing.
Yeah.
That was good. I
From
really
Guardians
liked
of the
that.
It sounds awful.
Yeah,
It's just the
he
worst.
just looks like an idiot the whole time.
Yeah. I loved it.
Yeah, that was a nice callback. I really love how they like recreated that whole scene. I thought it was great.
All the
Very well
recreations they did were really well done. Mm-hmm. Nebula getting stuck. Is that your next one?
Let's see. I'm just looking around here. There's a part where they cut to Nebula and Gamora, the past Nebula and Gamora, fighting each other.
Well, there's no current Gamora. So.
As they do. Yeah. It's true, but we're in the past, is I guess the point. I've noticed a difference between the Thanoses.
Yeah.
This Thanos seems way more sadistic than the dutiful Thanos from Infinity War.
I bet. I mean, he at this point he has 0 stones and has just gotten a glimpse of like this plan that I have. Like this is boots to the ground, getting on the grind, doing all the hard work, wiping out half the universe. Thanos, as opposed to, oh man, this would be way easier if I just had these 6 rocks. like that Thanos is a hippy dippy. I got the job done. This Thanos is like fucking. Oh my god, I gotta go to work to clean off my sword. Thanos.
Yeah, I could see him being much more like. I guess more driven through unscrupulous means.
Ooh.
Yeah, where like this is prior to him having like any sort of power to just like kind of.
Yeah, maybe he gets more humble.
Really simple. Yeah,
more humble, the more stones he gets.
Yeah, he becomes much more of a zealot.
Yeah.
So there's points here where we're kind of jumping around between scenes. What we come up to now is where Cap and Tony are like in Stark Tower. We get the opposite view of the end of the first Avengers. They're trying to get the Tesseract and the Scepter. Cap goes in the elevator. Looks like the scene from Winter Soldier.
I thought that was going to go down again. I was so fucking ready.
But he has the knowledge from the future, so when he wants the Scepter, he just says, "Hail Hydra," and they give him the Scepter.
Which, holy shit, subverting our expectations and not getting an elevator fight. Perfect. We did not need to see another elevator fight. We've already seen it. Giving the callback of one of the biggest memes of like 2017, 2018 of Captain America saying Hail Hydra and it working in this reverse context. I lost my mind in the theater. I was like, they fucking did it. I could not imagine.
In that timeline when they went back, Captain was so fucking smart about everything he did.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. This is Captain America's movie. Whatever.
This is the point where they're trying to get the Tesseract. Ant-Man gives Iron Man a heart attack.
So good.
Thor revives him with a little snap.
I didn't know that would work.
That was funny.
They have the Tesseract until Hulk comes smashing down through the stairs because they made him take the stairs.
Yeah. The Hulk in this scene is probably the funniest part of the whole movie. I hate the stairs. So many stairs.
So that means Loki gets a hold of the Tesseract and gets out of there.
Yes.
Creates a portal. He's gone.
Yep.
They don't know this quite at first because when Cap runs into Cap, he's like, hey, we got Loki here on the 14th floor.
Oh, yeah.
Because he thinks Loki is...
Him.
Yeah.
Which, good job with making, in the scene prior, turning him into Cap. To remind everybody, be like, he can do this. This is why this is not a leap of logic.
Yeah. Definitely.
And he does it in Dark World?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Cap's fight... past Cap is choking out current Cap when current Cap says something about Bucky.
Yeah.
That leaves Cap to, leaves him open. Cap uses the scepter to, I guess, make the past Cap go to sleep.
Yep.
That was the other thing that I was like, dude, that was so smart what the captain did, because he knew that would just confuse the shit out of him.
And then he looks at his own ass and he says, that's America's ass.
That is
That
America's
was
ass.
probably one of the best lines from that movie, was the whole conversation about America's ass.
Don't worry, Captain America. The way that Ant-Man says Captain America is so rad.
Yeah.
Captain America.
So,
America's ass.
what we got here? Trying to get around my notes.
Tony and Ant-Man fuck up.
Tony and
We got to go back to the
they
past.
do fuck up. They have to go back to the past. But we also switch back to Morag. Nebula's network is fucking with past Nebula's network.
Totally makes sense.
And Thanos can actually see the future events.
Totally makes
And
sense.
he's like, fuck, I get the stones. Kick ass.
I think him also knowing that makes him more cocky.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Like in that.
I'm inevitable. Inevitable.
Yeah.
Inedible. You can't eat them. They give the Avengers multivitamins. They're chewables, except for one.
That'd be hilarious.
He is the silica packet inside the fucking multivitamins.
It's kind of hard to talk, huh?
So Cap and Tony need to go even further back into the past.
For Pym Park.
They also need Pym particles because they don't have enough to get back to the future unless they get more. So Tony ends up talking to Howard Stark.
That was neat.
So
that
good.
was so neat.
What
Cap-
good closure.
Cap somehow doesn't get seen when he's looking through the window.
Yeah. With Agent
He's
Carter.
right there.
Hey, Peggy.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby.
Let me just breathe on the window real quick. Let me draw a little.
He draws a dick. Yeah. Cap, go get that.
Do you think he spanked it in the office before he left?
Well,
This is Captain America.
Given the time he was there, just staring in the window, he could have.
Goofs aside, do you know how hard it was for him to walk out of that office and leave
Yeah.
Peggy?
Oh god, yeah.
They did a good job of conveying like the emotion, his
I wanted
emotional
him to
like
cry.
turmoil in that time. Like I could say something to her, but we have a mission and also timelines.
I forgot one thing. I want to jump back to the Cap fighting Cap
Yeah.
when he said, "I can do this all day."
Oh,
and current Cap's
he's
like,
like,
"Yeah, I know."
He's just annoyed with himself.
He's just like, God, just grow up or devolve a little bit. Like, just fucking get the polish off the apple, you fuck.
Yeah, it's like you really feel the difference between Cap from Avengers 1 and Cap that we have now. Because Cap we have now, like, hey, Shield's Hydra. And fuck.
Hydra, all right, cool.
It was cool that we saw the ants in Hank's office
Yeah.
because they were like, "It's like Ant-Man, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Ant-Man this time. He's Ant-Man."
I like that. And
Nebula,
it was the old Ant-Man helmet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nebula gets captured. Has
Yeah.
to
Of
course.
fight Nebula.
Nebula fucks everything up, always.
I liked her story arc.
I just wonder how older, more experienced Nebula lost to naive Nebula.
She hasn't gone in for repairs ever since Thanos. Like, she had 5 years of degrading parts.
Really?
Also, not as
That's the only. That's a
With
whiff.
the Avengers.
not as vicious.
I was just shooting in the dark.
Yeah, it's
I have
like
no
she's
idea.
a completely different person. The present day one. So,
Yeah.
like Pascamore is like ruthless.
Yeah.
Or
I bet she would have done it if she didn't win it paper football.
yeah.
Yeah, it made her soft.
Yeah.
It humanized her,
Yep.
which I liked.
We got Natasha and Clint on Vormir.
That whole scene, like I knew what was gonna happen as
soon as they started flying.
Yeah, as soon as they like got there, and I was like, oh. But I honestly thought they were gonna let Clint go.
They met Red Skull.
Yeah, I knew right when they landed that Clint was the one going over the edge.
But
I
the only
knew
reason
it.
the only reason that I was like,
Or,
they're not gonna
Natasha was.
they're not gonna kill her. She's got a movie coming out.
No, I knew because for some reason, like, and you can see this with like Age of Ultron, like Clint just gets to live. He has a family. He
Yeah.
just has to be. He's the one stable thing in this entire Marvel universe is that Clint rarely gets injured and gets to live, and also is with his family by the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
I assume they weren't warned of Vormir because it was going to ruin the plan.
Yeah,
'Cause
Nebula
knows.
knew. Yeah,
Because she knew when Gamora didn't come back
Yeah.
that in Infinity War that's what Thanos had done.
but
Yeah.
But I think you're right. Like, she didn't say anything because that would have ruined the plan.
When they started fighting to be the one to go off the cliff, I really thought it was like a Hawkeye heel turn right there. Like when he knocked her down, I'm like, holy shit, he's gonna throw her off the cliff.
Oh my
I knew
he's so fucking brutal.
when they were told that what they needed to do. I was like, oh, they're gonna have a big old fight over this.
Yep, and they did fight over it. Eventually, Nat technically won the fight
Yeah.
by dying.
One. Air quotes.
Yeah. So Clint gets the stone.
What a cool duality of her landing in the same pose, Clint waking up in the exact same way, and him not being able to hold his emotions like Thanos. Thanos had like almost
the manly
excitement with Thanos, and Clint loses it. It's real rad.
Yeah. So they all come back to the current day, except for Natasha, and Nebula is not the same Nebula.
That was cool. That was a neat little twist.
Cool gold thing that she stole from.
She's
our
disguised
Nebula.
as the current Nebula.
Let's talk about Rhodey totally blowing it. So when Nebula, in order to get the Power Stone, had to put her hand in the wishy-washy thing and melt down to her like core, whatever.
Oh, and he
And
didn't notice.
Doesn't have she has a regular fucking arm. Second time I watched the movie, I was like, I wonder if
That never occurred to me.
Yeah. And they made a big deal about like, I wasn't always like this. Yeah, I wasn't either. Well, Rhodey, like you've got like your legs still work, kind of, right? Like you got like just an. I'm 99% machine. But yeah, I feel like that's something should have happened there.
Speaking of Nebula and Rhodey, it really did show how 5 years had passed when she called him Rhodey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh,
need to shut
there it
the
is.
window.
There it is.
There we go. Little quality control from Matt. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good observation with them.
We're gonna have to wrap up. It's gonna get fucking hot in here.
Yeah, we really do have to wrap up. And
Well, we're getting
we
to the
still got a
end.
ways to go. So
I mean, we can just drop
can-
this into a two-parter, I think.
We can just
Nah.
combine.
I don't think the second part's going to be long enough if we drop into a two-parter at this point.
Yeah.
All right, Thanos. He saw into the future. He called them Avengers. Clearly, knew who they were. I just thought it was cool. He was like Avengers.
Oh yeah.
Like they made a name for themselves.
Well, he had to look.
Thor wants Nat back.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They can't do it.
Yeah.
Hulk throws a bench.
Yeah.
Everybody
Really
else
well.
feels.
You threw it really well.
So they decide that Hulk should be the one to do the unsnap.
Yeah.
'Cause
Why'd
it's
they
the
stay
show.
in the room?
Because they're all friends.
Yeah.
Because you
Power
know.
of friendship and the
Kate-
script will protect them.
Yeah.
What was it? The barn door or
Yeah, barn door.
barn door protocol. I like that.
Everybody was in the room except the one person who needed to not be in the room to make the plot happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once again, Rhodey wasn't like, "Hey, where's that person who fixed their arm in the 2 seconds that was."
Nebula.
Yeah. God damn it, Rhodey.
So after the unsnap, Hulk is injured.
Yeah.
We get the scene where Ant-Man sees some birds.
Guys,
I think it worked.
there are 4 birds. There used to be 2 birds. I think we did it.
I thought right at that scene when
The dumbest part.
Oh, no.
So many fucking birds, everybody.
something else to happen before I say my view.
Which also, I didn't think wildlife was going to be affected by the snap. Like, I never really pieced that one together, and I was like,
Natasha said
guess that-
half of all living creatures,
Yeah.
which that would include plants.
and the one
So
lonely
you're gonna
tortoise by
you're-
itself.
You're going
was
to
that
cut
gone?
half the population and also cut half their food supply.
Yeah, Thanos didn't think this through.
I mean, you could have just doubled the resources.
Balance.
What the fuck are you doing?
Anyway, so we get that scene, and Clint gets a call from his wife. Doesn't get to answer it
Right away.
because, right away.
5 years of phone plan payments.
Yeah. Paying off. Yeah. I kept that line open. I'm still on the family plan.
I'm not
It's
losing.
my family.
I got grandfathered in. I'm not losing my deal.
So Nebula The past Nebula gets Thanos and his armies through the quantum realm.
It took me like
To the
5
present
minutes
day.
after that scene to be like, how the fuck they get that shit? Oh, yeah.
They said, the Russo said in that big interview thing that they figured out Pym particles.
Yeah.
Thanos is smart enough to have just figured it out.
Well, they had that vial.
yeah, they had one, and
Yeah,
Thanos is a genius. He figured it out.
Yeah.
And we don't
So-
have to worry about any others because of the way they in the movie were.
So they coming through the portal. They just decimate the Avengers.
That scene when
Headquarters.
Paul Rudd, it looks like Paul Rudd just takes a missile thing torpedoed in the face.
I thought he was. I thought he was gonna be dead.
That's what I thought too. I was like, oh, they killed Ant-Man. That sucks.
The first soldier has fallen.
You did get to see him as he's flying backwards, though. He shrinks.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got the second time
time.
I saw
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I had to like pause it because someone on Reddit said that.
This is where Iron Man told Cap if he loses the shield, he's keeping it.
Oh yeah,
Cap kept losing the shield. The Core 3 then attack Thanos.
that was fucking hardcore cool.
Thor, Cap, and Iron Man come to approach Thanos, who's just sitting there doing nothing.
You know this is a
Waiting
trap,
for
right?
them. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Thor cleans up pretty good.
I thought
braided beard?
I
got the
thought when
braided
he was
beard
gonna
and
power
You should do
up,
that.
I thought he was gonna get skinny again.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, it's Fat Thor with armor now.
Yeah, Erica was really hoping that he would eventually shed the LBs, but I was kind of glad for the continuity that they were just like, he's buff now. Okay,
Yeah.
the joke's over.
This Thanos is super pissed, says he's just going to kill all life and recreate it.
What a great turn. Because he's like, well, fuck, it worked, but like these assholes are like Scooby Dooing my plan.
Yeah.
And so
You damn kids.
you damn kids in
and
here.
that raccoon.
Rabbit. So I totally dig the idea of like, the half measure wasn't quite what we needed. Let's make it a full measure. And we'll start over.
Yeah. And then it created stakes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
where, I mean, before it was just like, all right, we're just going to undo all of this stuff. But, like, now with Thanos coming back, it wasn't just stop Thanos from doing this, otherwise we're going to do it again. It was, all right, well, then everything's gone. Everything's fucking done.
Loved it.
I'm taking my ball and I'm going home.
Clint running through a tunnel with the Infinity Gauntlet. He eventually sees Nebula. He's like, oh, hey, Nebula. It's not the right Nebula.
And past Nebula is such a fucking, instead of like, take this song. Yeah, I got it from here. Hey, Dad, I did it. It's like right there. What? Fucking roadie.
This is where the current Nebula kills fake Nebula.
That
I
was
guess
cool.
Past Nebula.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's like a metaphor where she killed her past self and is like evolved into a new person.
Iron Man, when he had the, he's like, Thor, hit me, and
Did,
hit him with the
overpowered.
juice. Yeah.
Reminiscent of Avengers 1.
He
Yeah.
needed the juice.
And then we got like baseball Mjolnir here.
Yeah.
He's swinging it and like Stormbreaker and hitting
Yeah.
Mjolnir over.
Oh, so good. This whole fight scene. The whole fight scene. Fucking rad.
Thanos' weapon was cool as shit.
Yeah, that sword. That thing was.
Oh, like
His helicopter blade
yeah.
from the Thanos chopper.
Thanos is very close to killing Thor with Stormbreaker
Oh yeah.
when he's hit by Mjolnir,
The most
which
OG,
flies into Cap's hand.
the most OG fucking moment of that movie.
I lost my fucking mind. I shouted.
Our
I'm a
theater-
talker in the theater. I shouted for 5 seconds straight when this happened.
Yeah, our theater exploded when that happened.
Yeah, oddly enough, mine didn't.
Oh,
Like, I was like, I knew it! Right when Thor was saying I knew it, I was like,
I loved his like ecstatic happiness for that.
Mine didn't because they were respectful adults in a movie theater.
Well,
Yeah.
you know who's not a respectful adult in a movie theater? This guy. I will talk your ear off, man.
Oh no, we're
Yeah.
not seeing movies together.
Oh, I fucking love talking in theaters. I love it.
he takes phone calls and shit. He actually has interviews that he schedules only during fucking movies.
So during the fight, Thanos really fucks up Cap's shield.
I love it.
Like he has like half a shield left.
Yeah, he's just hacking through it with just nothing but goddamn the Thanos
Anger.
copter and
Balance.
yeah.
And this is when Thanos says that this is now personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
I'm going to enjoy what I do to your insignificant planet.
This is the point where everything looks done, basically. Like, there's a huge army. It's just basically like Cap and a couple people sitting there. And then you just hear it over the intercom. Cap? Cap, you there? You read me? It's Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, they're here.
Yeah.
Dude, that
A bunch of portals open up.
On your left.
It gives them an on your left.
Oh, man.
This movie is another a fan service, man. This whole last, the whole last
scene
third
was just fan service.
Like, just fucking put it in, just jerk it. Just jerk
Bunch
it.
of portals open up, and we've got the whole crew.
Everybody.
Like everybody, even down to
Everybody.
Pepper Potts in a Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
Isn't that the rescuers?
Yeah.
The rescuers.
We got Hope as the Wasp there. Wong showed up,
Yeah.
like he didn't in
Wanda.
fucking Infinity War.
And he brought all of the sorcerers.
Yep, all the sorcerers, the army of Asgard, led by Valkyrie.
Yeah. Which, how did she keep a Pegasus? But it's chill.
Yeah, I don't know. Ravagers were there as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
It was really all hands on deck.
Yep.
I don't know what Mantis did.
Yeah.
Make people go to sleep.
I got some umbrage with the scene where she shows up with a bunch of other heroes, but
I understood that scene, but I was still like,
We'll get there. We'll get there. Spider-Man shows up. Spider-Man swings in, and my favorite part is like he lands and he goes, whew, and he like a big sigh of relief, like my Aunt May was gonna fucking kill me if I didn't get on that plane.
Dude, I also like how Captain America both remembers and calls him Queens.
Oh, so
Yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
he's from Queens. Yeah, my boy from New York.
This is about when Cap and Thor they're getting ready to fight, and Cap is actually holding Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
Thor is Mjolnir, and he's like, "No, you get the small one."
Yeah, switch.
They switch.
and then he gets to say his line.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he does say
So
Avengers
fucking
Assemble,
long.
which he hasn't said
No.
Yeah.
in any of the movies.
It got cut off.
Yeah.
And Ultron.
Yeah.
It was so satisfying hearing him say that because
Oh.
he was pissed.
So livid.
During the fight, Quill runs into Gamora. It's clearly not his Gamora.
He doesn't know that, though.
She needs him in the nuts. I know he didn't know that, but
He gets
Hey,
both
just
of
like,
them.
just like the other Gno. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah.
That person.
they're gonna try and return the stones through the van.
It's great. Love the plan.
They
Not sure what that does, but yeah.
Iron Man then asks Doctor Strange what's going on. If he says, "If I tell you, it's not going to happen," so he's not going to tell him. Gauntlet, Hot Potato, Clint, Black Panther, Thanos.
That was cool.
Spider Dude.
Yes, Spider-Man. Ebony Maw has it for a bit.
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man activates instant kill mode.
That was
So good.
fucking awesome.
That was so gnarly.
that made me so happy.
In response to Scarlet Witch nearly killing Thanos, they go rain fire.
So Scarlet
Fucking
Witch.
Scorched Earth.
The only thing that I think would have made that scene cooler, but it would have killed pacing, was if at some point she walked up to him and gave Thanos the same crazy vision that she gave Tony of like seeing all of the Avengers. And just be like, boop. All right, now you're like crazy too. Like I think that'd have been really cool, but I don't see how pacing we could have made it work.
Pissed.
Yeah.
She was so pissed.
Oh yeah, and it was really cool seeing what seems like a very underpowered character just kind of just wrecking shop.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
fucking his whole scene. Thanos is just like struggling.
Yeah.
She was fucking him up.
All right, so there's a Mystic Shield. All the
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. Like that, Doctor Strange prevents the water from running into the area. Spider-Man rides Mjolnir, and then gets help from Valkyrie as well. Captain Marvel shows up, wrecks the ship. Captain Marvel takes the gauntlet.
Got something for my Peter Parker?
It took me for a second when they were like, it stopped firing. It's like shooting at something else. What the fuck is it shooting? Oh,
Captain
yeah,
MacGuffin.
she's there.
This is when she gets the help from her fellow women.
Yeah. I
understand.
like this scene in Infinity Wars because it happened organically, and like, you know, there was reasons these characters would be near each other. But in the other one, or like in Endgame, it just seemed like all these people were fighting in different crews, and like, I get the whole splash art, you know, powerful women displayed prominently and all that. It just seems so ham-handed, and just
Yeah.
I
Like,
would
I
have liked it if it was better.
I understood why they did it, and yeah, it did felt like they were like, we need a scene in here like this. But at the same time, I was like, this is fucking cool.
I read an interview from the Russo brothers that they mentioned that scene, and they kind of weighed whether or not it was pandering or delightful, and eventually they settled on delightful.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it. It was cool.
I'm happy for that scene because, like, my niece used to have to cosplay as Captain America. Like, that was her favorite hero.
Yeah.
But now there's, like, there's a smattering of female characters that she easily can look up to in the same type of light. Like that scene needed to existed for like not us. It's not your classic gathering of 4 podcasters. It is for
right.
The round table of white men.
Yeah, it's
And Mantis would be a very easy cosplay.
yeah. It's for the 6 and 7-year-old girls that like comics too.
Yeah.
I'm down.
This is when I put I put it was the girl power scene, but I also put Mantis though. Still don't know what the fuck Mantis is doing on the field.
She just looks angry.
Writing it down for future reference.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Infinity Wars where you had Scarlet Witch, being brought down and almost killed, and then, she's not alone. And then you had 2 other very powerful female characters show up and get into that fight. That was great. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Are you restating the same point?
Yeah. I'm just expanding on it.
Right. Yeah. We're at an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was just splash art for, the purpose of splash art, I guess. It didn't fit at all with these people where they are.
It killed some of the pacing.
Yeah.
I understand that, but yeah. It was, I was
needed.
I was just happy to see everything all together. I was like, we're working together.
Yeah.
So we got Thanos destroying the van.
That was a neat scene.
Thanos gets the gauntlet from Captain Marvel. He pulls a great plan here. He takes the Power Stone out of the gauntlet and punches her right in the face to get her off of him.
That was like a fucking just insanely smart move on his part.
Yeah.
Tony fights Thanos and sleight of hands the stones away from him.
Even though, like, Doctor Strange is like, you just have to get one of the stones. You just got to get one away so he can't snap. But fucking Tony doesn't know what's up because he didn't take the point.
No,
it's still not
I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
No, just fly upwards and give it to Captain Marvel. Just go up. Thanos can't fly.
Yeah. I do like how he held off on that, probably because he knew that Tony would end up, having to do what he did. That he wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to be in vain. He was like, all right, yeah, this is all panning out to be the one.
This is it.
Yeah.
Thanos says he's inevitable. Iron Man says, I am Iron Man.
Such a good scene.
Dude.
Iron Man snaps. Thanos' troops start fading away like in Infinity War. Thanos, the last one to fade.
I like how there was some heartfelt goodbyes between Thanos' troops where they were like holding each other, just like, I don't want to go. I have a family too, but it's off screen. And like it was just really emotional. Like it kind of, war hurts both sides.
Iron Man is dying. He gets some last words from Rhodey, Spider-Man, and Potts.
Yeah.
She tells him he can rest now.
Oh.
That's what got me. I was like, oh, that's the one. That's the line.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah, that was the line.
There was some hard swallows there.
Clint goes home, meets with his family.
Cool.
Peter goes to school, meets up with Ned.
I have so many fucking questions about that scene.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Lang is chilling with Hope and Cassie.
That was nice.
Down?
Yeah. I'm glad that like kind of not necessarily conventional family dynamic is still introduced.
Yeah, like girlfriend with
grown-up
daughter.
Mom, stepdad, and a very involved father with his girlfriend. Like I like that. I like that they incorporated something that wasn't just like mom, dad, and 3.2 kids and a dog.
Yeah.
Wakanda celebrating afterwards.
Wakanda looking futuristic as fuck too.
Wakanda? No shit.
Well, no, I felt it looked way more futuristic than Black Panther.
Well, they've had 5 years,
So, yeah. That's what
I bet of all the places that like survived, it was Wakanda.
Yeah.
Do you think Shuri showed up and was like, if I had 5 years, I'd be way better than this?
Yeah.
Tony has a message after his death.
That was powerful.
That was sad.
Oh my god.
This whole like last 5 minutes,
Yeah.
just fucking tearjerker, man.
I love that like that wasn't recorded like, hey, we're gonna go fight Thanos. Like, wasn't that the one that was recorded like
Before the time heist.
Yeah.
before the whole
Before
fucking
the time heist.
Yeah. I love how it still encapsulated like the spirit of the whole conflict following time heist. Like he anticipated like, hey, yeah, this is gonna be fucking rough. It's gonna get worse before it gets better, gang.
He has a fairly... Well, I put huge funeral, but it's not really huge. It's not that many people, but it's all the important people.
Yeah, it just encapsulates.
Encapsulates.
Thank you. Like all of the MCU. Everybody's there, including the kid from Iron Man 3.
Erica didn't know who that was.
It took me getting home to figure out who that kid was.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like,
I had to explain it on our walk out into the fucking parking lot. I'm like, yeah, that was the kid from Iron Man 3. He's like, oh, that fucking kid? Who gives a shit about that guy?
Well, he gave a shit about Tony Stark.
Yeah, I know.
We get to see the proof Tony Stark has a heart thing again.
oh, that was powerful.
And then the tears flowed.
Yeah.
Happy promises Morgan all the cheeseburgers she
Oh,
wants.
that got me when she asked
Jon
for the
Favreau.
cheeseburger. I was like,
Jon Favreau fucking... That was the scene. Like, I was kind of misty-eyed. Jon Favreau kind of made me get a little watery on that.
Yeah.
it's fitting. All the directors were in that last part, or all the directors made
Cameos, yeah.
cameos of
Yeah.
like the OG 3. So like Captain.
Thor gives up the throne to Valkyrie.
Beautiful. Perfect.
That was cool.
Exactly where his character needs to go.
He joins up with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh my
or
God,
the as Guardians of the Galaxy.
I cannot wait for Guardians 3.
Camilla made a point. She's like, why didn't Quill say anything about Fat Thor?
Yeah.
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 Probably afraid to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
He's still a god.
they are fighting over who's the leader.
We
was
know
fun.
who's the leader.
Thor's definitely like,
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, you're the leader, Quill. We know who the leader is.
I like the little ad that when you first enter the ship, he's searching for Gamora. So I think that's going to be a big part of Guardians 3.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because she definitely got on a ship and left.
Cap,
I mean, they didn't show her. If they were going to show her dusted, they would have shown it.
Right. It'd have been way bigger.
Cap is tasked with returning the stones and Mjolnir.
Perfect. But not the glove, everybody. Not the baseball glove.
Not the glove, that's right.
We split.
We're now in timeline B.
They throw a callback to the first Captain America movie when Bucky tells Captain he's taking all the stupid with him.
Yeah.
Which is
Yes.
They said in the reverse form in that movie. Cap doesn't come back.
Yeah.
Cap lives out his entire life.
That was so nice.
He blows past his return point.
That was nice.
He was able to bring the shield back with him, though.
A shield, not the shield.
A shield.
There you go.
Yeah.
The design's different.
Is it? I didn't really.
Yep. So the star itself, there are lines going up the center of it, and there are these little notches on all the in between one of the stripes.
Oh,
Yeah.
But he gives it to Falcon.
I was okay
Which
with that.
I do
I
really
expected Bucky to take it, but I was actually okay with.
I like the idea of Falcon kind of taking up that mantle with any future Marvel properties.
Yeah.
Like I think it'd be really cool to see that whole, because everyone kind of gets what most of the other like big characters are, and Falcon's been kind of an underplayed type of. He's just a guy, just a dude. He's like Clint but with wings.
So we get to the credits. All the main characters sign their names, and there's a 10-bell salute. If anyone caught that at the end.
Really?
Tony building.
Yep. Yeah. The
There's no end credit scene, but if you listen at the end of the credits, there's a 10-bell salute.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was Tony building his suit.
Sounds like that's a 10-bell for Stan Lee. That's the 10-bell salute when someone dies.
yeah.
Well, I thought it was him building the suit in the very first movie.
It could be
a
both.
Callback, like an
Could be both.
It's
homage to that.
Could be, I guess.
It
They
could-
didn't show him building it.
Yeah, it's the top number for military departures.
Huh.
You do 10 bells for burials, departures of really high-ranking officers or like foreign dignitaries and stuff.
Interesting.
Which I thought was I picked up on it, but I don't think a lot of other people
I did not.
did.
That's rad.
I even with nothing in the end credits. I really liked that whole sequence of like the signatures and like these are the people who made it. It wasn't. Oh yeah, it's Thor. No, it's,
Chris Hemsworth.
yeah.
And that was Endgame.
Yeah, I couldn't recommend. I don't think anybody should see this movie.
Yeah.
We didn't just spend 2 hours
so
talking
now-
about it.
So now technology news, huh?
Hell no. Nope. This podcast is actually ending very quickly without much of an outro. Find us
We're
on
locking this in
YouTube.
the Guggenheim.
3 Hit Combo Podcast. See you later, everybody.